Holy crap. Alright, I'm back. I think it kept me in the same... Yeah, okay, so it's the same session uptime. Let me double check. Uptime. This might take a second for it to respond, because it's been... That part's been super slow, too. Let's see, is it still lagging? Oh, I probably need to restart the thing. Oh, no, wait, nope, there's my figure. Yeah, it's still lagging. I wonder if it's Mix It Up, because Mix It Up has been really slow. What if I restart that? If restarting Mix It Up doesn't work, then I've got literally nothing. I have restarted like every single thing in my whole setup, and I've closed a bunch of tabs in work stuff. This is made before Halo 2 even came out, so it looks a bit rough and hold on. Okay. So it looks a bit rough and I haven't used... Oh, hey, Stormer! How it goes, man? So it looks a bit rough and only having used Green Stuff, Plastic Art, and Kit Bash from Under Miles. Anyways, they're in Discord now. Yes, I saw them and I want to get them on screen. I'm just trying to get all my stuff back on to see if we can fix this lag issue because, yeah, it's ticking me off too. But Mix It Up is turning back on, and then let me get these up in a tab here. They look really impressive, all things considered, actually. How goes, Stormer? Have not talked in a while. Sorry, I've not been around in your stream. I've been super busy. Mixed Up is taking absolutely forever to log in. Let me get that overlay off for now. Failed to connect to Twitch services. Well, that's a thing. We're good. What are we painting? We are painting not the Raven Guard you see on cam, but actually a Votann commission because the weight scars are finished. They're not just finished. Well, they were finished a few weeks ago, but they're actually out of my house. Finally. I don't have 32 white scar models taking up a bunch of desk space anymore. Yeah, nice. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to... Mix Up's giving me a hard time. I think I have to update or just it won't start up right now. Yeah, it's been one of those tech days where none of my tech wants to work. Pretty good. I am gonna update Mix It Up, and while that's doing that, I'll show off what we're painting. So we're painting a Oh, hey, it's actually not that laggy right now. I guess it was Mix It Up. All right. Well, anyway, it's a Votann Ironkin Grimnir of the Ymir conglomerate. Some stream D&DS tech issue. Yeah, I know. Well, I actually had been going for a good while without any issues, but no, it seems to be fixed now. Mix It Up. All right, I'll have to remember that next time the just this cam is lagging. Check Mix It Up because I guess something about Mix Up and Duo One, the app I use to stream my phone's cam. This is actually my phone. It's the best camera I got. Even though I own a bunch of cameras, it's somehow the best camera I got. But yeah, that's the thing. All right, so back to painting it anyway. What have you been painting lately, Stormer? Oh yeah, we're looking at the Halo thing. I am sorry. I apologize. We're gonna that should be good now, and it's still good. Now turn the overlay back on. Yes. Welcome back, Zelfiana. Where? I think it's this. Here we go. Okay. And Halo from 2002, 2003. Look at that. All plastic card. Man, that's awesome. Nefertaria Blood from AOS. Nice. So this is some of Black Sword stuff from way back in the day where he kit bashed. Oh, you're off now? Nice. Kit bashed an Imperial Guard army based on Halo. Pre-Halo 2. And man, did he do a good job. Look at these warhogs. They look kind of blocky and dopey, but you can tell what they are. And the commander got his hands on an energy sword. That's rad. This is legit. This is the good stuff. Made a katana. I appreciate how the katana is the old Halo 1 purple, by the way. Nox Redempta. Yeah, we'll see some of Nox Redempta pretty soon. Alright. And I think now we can actually get back to painting and actually paint. Yay. You even green stuff the assault rifles on top of every last gun too. Oh, really? Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, the little hump thing for the ammo readout. And they look like the Halo 1 assault rifles. Oh, he made sure you had the day off for the game. Nice. Yo, for anyone that doesn't know, the 18th I intend to stream a mega match TTS fight, 3v1. Total of 6,000 points. It's going to be a 3,000 point Night Lords led Chaos Soup army versus 3,000 point Raven Guard and Raven Guard successor armies. And it's got a bunch of custom rules, and it's going to be an absolute mess. And it will probably take all bloody day, honestly. I still have to find a map for that, by the way. I'm gonna try to do that tonight if I have the energy. We don't have a map yet. May have told a bit of a white lie about taking my dad to the eye doctor. I may or may not have done similar things before, so I think it's okay. Listen, it's not actually a drug until it makes you make some questionable decisions. Go to 2v2 board? Yeah, I just have to find one. Like, I haven't even gone to looking because I got that big government job started yesterday, and I was trying to finish up a bunch of smaller web dev contracts before that Monday, and I just made it on time, basically. And then, like, last night, I was so brain dead because the government job is a little bit above my, like, normal pay grade in, like, complexity. So I'm pushing myself pretty hard. I was just exhausted. I went to bed early, and then you wouldn't believe it. My mother wakes me up even earlier in relation to going to bed early with some extremely loud laundry. Let's see. So I normally go to bed at 2 a.m. I went to bed at 12:30 a.m. last night, and then I got woken up at quarter of 7 a.m. And I have that client coming up to pick up the white scars and drop off this Votann for 10:30, 10:40. Now I'm like, I can't go back to sleep now. Ah. What are you thinking of Nerf Rocket Marines? Nerf Rocket Marines. Oh, you mean the Desolators? I am very meh on everything about them for some reason. I like normal Space Marines and missile launchers, yet them, I don't know. I would definitely change the model, but I think everyone agrees on that. But even the rule set, like, it doesn't... I have Eradicators already. What do I care about the rockets? They look very... You know what they look like? They look like the physical representation of how I view most anime, where you just stack things on to make it bigger and bigger and bigger until it looks stupid. In my personal opinion, I'm not a big anime person, so they don't have the flexibility of Devastators or rocket launchers. Well, there's that, but also, well, I mean, they have way more damage output, though, for the thing they specialize in. Also, I'm going to switch up this music. I'm not caring for this much dubstep at the moment. I'm kind of just looking for more like chill EDM type of stuff. You know, let's go to this one. This one's good. Yeah, this is good. Man, you always request a Nightwish, but yeah, we can do some Nightwish. That's fine. Oh, actually, oh wait, no, it's Within Temptation. Never mind. I was like, oh, in 2 songs. It's actually no, it's Within Temptation in 2 songs. Yeah. Let me roll up some Nightwish here. Do you have an era of Nightwish in mind, Zophiana? Because Nightwish got a few different ages. I saw someone just put the tubes in the backpack and the bolt actually like the MG4 tube. I saw that. I saw that exact thing as well, and I thought that actually was pretty good. Nope, no care. All right. Well, I'm gonna do what I usually do and just split the difference with Amaranth. Like 90% of it. Yeah, I'm about that too. Pretty much. Ironically, it's mostly some of the newer stuff I don't really like a lot. I haven't heard the other 10%. I think just the newest stuff is kind of hit or miss for me, but yeah, most everything else of theirs I like. Alright, so there's the red. A little bit's drying still. I'm gonna go then. I'll start down here. I'm gonna go and do Agrax Earthshade in the middle there. And then we're gonna do, we're gonna highlight the outside edges only. And we're going to do the inside designs, like the inside filigree with Army Warpainter Greedy Gold. That is the plan. And I have to be kind of careful with this, because this isn't supposed to get on the outside edge at all, but I'm trying to darken the sunken lines specifically. And, like, only that, basically, because the rest is getting painted over anyway. So yeah, I'm very mad at Desolators. I don't see myself probably ever really getting them, to be honest, unless they became unusually good. And even then, I have 9 Eradicators. What do I care? Their models require me to mess with them. Not even my normal conversions, which usually doesn't involve the weapons. So it's like, no. But that's fine. I still have my eyes on the Age of Darkness box for now. I might even, because I'm Raven Guard, not gonna lie, do some magnetization on the TAC Marines because they're scaled up. I think they're nearly Primaris sized. I might set them up with some bolt rifles to be, or other weapons like get some Hellblaster plasma rifles if they are the right size, and set them up to be Mark 10 effectively, whatever, like, or not Mark 10, but like Tacticus armor, Primaris Marines when doing in 40k, which also means I can have them magnetized so they can take tactical Marine weapons as well. I guess I don't know. I have to see how big they are before I decide exactly. But I want the rest of the box. Because, you know, clearly I need a third Contemptor, but also Spartan and Terminators. Because I don't have any Cataphractii Terminators. I have 5 normal and 5 Tartarus. Which isn't really enough to do anything with, to be honest. And the Praetors. Praetors are very cool. But to be totally honest, I'm not in a super rush on it right now, even though ironically I will probably have the spare money for it pretty soon, but I might invest that level of money into Pro Acryl paints instead, to be honest. Because I got plenty of my own stuff I'm excited to paint right now. Like stuff I already own. Like, probably the biggest thing I want from the Age of Darkness box right this second is probably the book, but I don't even got time to read it. Can I ask you what you're using to darken the lines here? I'm not sure Blood Angels. This is actually just Agrax Earthshade. Um, I probably, on reflection, probably should have used Reichland Flesh Shade for a more red-centered shade. But, we'll see how it looks when it dries. This Reichland Flesh Shade is more red, but you know what? It's fine. It'll probably just make the gold pop more, which is a good thing, I think. Alright, that is drying. And the bottom, it's basically dry, so I'm gonna do the highlight while it's all properly drying. And then I'll go back and do the gold, and then the trim will be done. And I'll move on to, like, the belt, I guess. This is a tier 2 commission, by the way, so I'm not going to be doing my usual going crazy on stuff. Or at least I'm going to be trying not to for time's sake, else, like, what's the point? I should just charge more then. Also, for reference, Shizu, the red itself is Wild Rider red within a top coat of Game Ink red from Vallejo. And yeah, the highlight with Wild Rider red afterward is very subtle. This is true. Ah, I just realized. So we had a new Blood Angels player in the chat earlier today, and they have gone to bed. I think they're in the UK, and now ironically Shizu's here. So I think I have my full schedule covered with Blood Angels people. Brilliant. Wild Rider Red, which is subtle on this, but it adds something. It adds physical paint to the model. I know that much. No, it does add a little bit of highlight to the edges. It makes them stand out a little bit. Father, help! What, is painting Dad here? Who called Dad? Someone tattling? Man, I can't get grounded again. No? Oh. Sadly. Yeah, I know, right? That was nice of Gray to raid me earlier. That was fun. I feel bad. I've been so busy. I haven't like gone and hung out with like any of my raid, but like any of the Twitch buddies at all. I've been literally just literally on a 7 day a week work cycle. Soon enough, pretty much after this government job ends, I should be able to slow down like a lot and be able to focus a lot more on like the channel and painting commissions and stuff. And things will be good. Should be able to pay off all the taxes I got straddled with. Yo, I got wrecked for tax season. Like in relation to what I've been making up until very recently. Okay, this is defined enough that it's probably worth a highlight on the interior here. It just, I didn't see it worthwhile on the bottom ones considering all things considered. But this is pretty big. No, it got inside. It got in dark bits. That's what I was trying to avoid. quick, someone come up. What? Your paying project arrives today. Good. What is it? I was just about to say, someone throw out a topic in the chat, because I'm gonna end up starting to talk about the environment, because I'm reminded what this song's music video is. Can pay up a reaver and take my time on them? Oh. Wait, like just one reaver? You got a whole box of reavers for one reaver? I mean, fair enough. It's just... Alright. Nah, I'm paying them. Yes, I shall hydrate. I think. Do I have water remaining? I have a little bit of water remaining. Him isn't a good word to use. Why? Oh, you mean good to pay up the reavers and take your time on them. I think is what you mean. Them would have been better. Yeah, that makes more sense now. Okay. I think we're going to highlighting time for greedy gold, which I'm not gonna do anything to. It's just gonna go on. I'm just gonna smack it on. I mean, I'll do it on the other spots I'm gonna apply to, but on the trim, it's just gonna be this. I'm tempted to do every little like thing to this, but I need to keep it in scope. Man, that spot all got really gummed up. Holy crap. What does this have? Actual gold flakes? Alright, there we go. Well, I can't wait to see them in the Discord. That's what I have to say about that. Now, let's get precise. Man, it's funky. It's sometimes just the light hits it right and just like looks translucent. It's time for another. It's time for another ad read. I am past time for an ad read. Again, I keep trying to do it at the top of the hour, but it just ain't happening. Mmm. I'm tired. Painting stream is sponsored by Factor 75. You want good food at a good price that's both tasty and nutritious. Use the code and the link or not the code, just use the link. Link is fine. Link will do it automatically. 50% off your first box. That is as cheap as 6 meals for $55 directly to your door. Your choice, bunch of options. They look really good. I can't wait to have mine next week. Cool, cool. Buy some food. that's my it's late in the stream. I'm tired. Actually, oh wait, no, the session did get restarted. Oh, that's fun. Um yeah, we got a little under 2 hours left in the stream. So I am starting to feel it. — 20 out of 10 ad read, thank you. I appreciate that. I thought it was a great ad read. Really got the point across, told you what to do. You click the link, you order the food, wha-bang, you keep my lights on. Thank you. It's that simple. You get food, I get a paycheck. For the forearmed... Oh, Eugene Steeler now, huh? Well then, we're gonna have a talk. Let's just head into the side room real quick. Close the door. Popping sound? I have no idea what popping sound you're talking about. I am gonna have to go back and fix some of this, and I don't like it. Though that was probably inevitable with the amount of this gold trim I have to do. What is a gene stealer? It's an alien that's after your pants. But only your pants. They have no interest in other articles of clothing. If they only wear flannel pants or slacks. I will eventually speak the words. Sweatpants or cotton PJs for me. I think those are cotton anyway. They might be polyester, I don't know. They're comfortable, is the point. They're fuzzy and comfortable. And warm. Chicken bacon ranch mac and cheese. Ooh. Oh wait, are you reading the menu? It's pretty good. I have at least one fish meal coming next week, as me quite excited. Been a while since I've had fish. Salmon, particularly. Salmon. I love me some salmon. Dude, it's not get better than smoked salmon. No, it's for dinner tonight. Oh, got me excited over here. Oh, that meal does sound good, regardless. I am wondering if I should not have washed this until after I put the gold. But it'll be fine. A little bit of cleanup here and there. It'll be good. Medium rare steak, though. It's also good. Also, correct choice for way of having the steak cooked. You shall be spared another day, Storm. Spared another day. I'm learning I like my meat rarer and rarer the older I get. Praise the Emperor truly protects. Good night, Stormer. Rest well. For tomorrow I kill you. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was just always medium rare. I have not deviated at all ever. I just was automatically based. It's just how it works. I was born with the correct opinion. Like many of my opinions, really, if you think about it. Pineapple can be on pizza. Tacos are always a good idea, regardless of the day. Uh, Cereal, it doesn't matter if it's a soup or not. It just matters how you make it, and the correct order of making cereal is you pour the cereal first, obviously, then the milk, and then you throw the bowl at it. And that's how you make a bowl of cereal. My mother also used to make leather. Pineapple. I don't understand why people don't like pineapple on pizza. It's actually a brilliant ingredient for pizza. It's a source of acid to break up the other flavors and mix them more thoroughly and whatnot, and add contrast. And it's actually a really good complement to all the other things we put on pizza. Also, use the link. Buy some good food. Speaking of food. Speaking of food. Pineapple and black olive pizza, 15 out of 10. Yeah, and you know what? I'd take that, and then I would sprinkle what was it? What was it? Was it garlic powder, or onion powder? I think it was garlic powder and pink Himalayan salt on that, and it'd be really good. Oh, I don't mind pepperonis in there as well, and onion. You gotta have onion. Onion without pizza. Onion without pizza. Pizza without onion. I don't know. Onion without pizza, I think also applies. Pizza without onion, that is heresy. How do you have pizza without onion? It's onion. How do you do most cooking without onion? It's onion. It's onion. It's just amazing. You put it with everything. Name me a food you can't have with onion, and onion doesn't make it better. I dare you. Cake? Nah, you can. Here's the thing: you didn't specify the cake. I am certain I can find a cake that you can put onion with, and it'd be good. Peanut butter? Oh no, you could absolutely take like sautéed onion and peanut butter together. That would absolutely work. What are you talking about? I can taste it in my mouth. That's good. Do it, eat it on stream. I will fry up in the cast iron some onion and have some peanut butter with it. Watch me. I don't think I have any peanut butter in the house right now though. So. I definitely have onions though. That unironically sounds pretty good. Peanut butter and sautéed onion. Excuses. Yeah, we're gonna have to do like a cooking stream. We're gonna have like a tabletop cooking stream. Is that what's gonna have to happen? Because I will absolutely make some nonsense. Peanut butter stuffed onions were a desperate depression era food. See, there you go. There you go. All right, find me foods that actually cannot go with onion. Remember, there's many ways of making onions, so you can definitely vary up like how onion is introduced to the other food. French silk pie. No, it's French. You can have that with fresh onion just right next to it. It's like a palate cleanser. It'd actually be great. Yeah, I can see it. Just literally just eating strips of onion. That sounds like such a French thing to do, too. Perfect. I didn't say it was a good food. I can see that being good. Here's part of it too. I like the taste of just fresh onion. I can just literally eat a piece of onion, like a fresh onion, and I will enjoy it. However, I've also always liked spicy foods, and I'm primarily a whiskey drinker. So put those all together, and suddenly the onion doesn't seem so weird. Um, throws up a bit in my mouth. Sushi. I actually don't like most sushi. And you know what? It's just because of the flavor profiles. It's not because of the texture. The texture's fine. It's just I don't like the flavors of them. But you also have a lot of variation of sushi, so I'm certain that there's a type of sushi that you throw some onion in it. There might also already be sushi with onion in it. Would not surprise me. Because sushi is a whole category of food, you know? Yo, I'm gonna have to do a cooking stream where I make a wrap because I don't use bread anymore. For like quote unquote sandwiches, I make wraps using these wraps that are made in almost entirely out of egg whites, so they're actually protein. Um, I'm gonna make a wrap of PB, onion, and J, and I'm gonna eat it on stream in front of you, and I'm gonna enjoy it. See, this is why Onion makes you cry because they had to find some way of nerfing Onion because otherwise it's an overpowered food. It's just overpowered. I have to admit, you like the idea of like Tier Zoo's idea of the outside as a giant MMO is just it's too perfect. I see you have removed a different mini option. Yes, because I am currently doing a commission, Red. Were you not paying attention earlier? Today. That was always the rule. That button's there when I'm painting my own stuff. When I'm paying commission, it turns off. So there. Unfortunately, Potato has not been here yet for him to cry about it. Because I know he would. Plot twist. I never pay attention. I just hear mumbling. No. And you know how I know that's the no? Because I have the recordings of hundreds of messages that say otherwise. So, it's like the adults from Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. Well, in that case, Red, wah, 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 wah. And that was an important question, and now you have to answer it. Good, good. I'll be happy to review that in the Discord later. Because I've been waiting to read it. I've been quite excited, actually. That is posted in the TTS thread, right? That's where you put it. Of course. Sophiana, you still here? Can you go verify that for me? Could you do me a favor? TTS, the greatest tool for nerds to hang out. Yeah, I'm finally doing a TTS segment. I'm gonna start doing games with audience members. I have not figured out a schedule for it, but we have figured out our premiere game to send it off, and it's gonna be a mega match of 3v1 because I'm insane. I might be clinically insane. With Red here, doing a 3,000 point army of Night Lords led something or another chaos versus 3 armies of 1,000 points of Raven Guard or Raven Guard successors. Because, if you're going to do TTS on stream, you may as well make it stupid. And probably painful for everyone involved. Yes, all the sneaky gets. I will be showing up as first founding 5th company because I have nothing but really big guns. And I mean that. I mean really big guns. In fact, we might turn into a whole bloody crusade after a while. Not the 3v1 thing, but just, doing TTS. Boo, you suck, what? What? Listen, you say that, but I'm the one getting paid for all this, so, I'm just a basic boy in 40k, Necrons, and Ultramarines. Yeah. Yeah, you basic, but we cool with that. You need the basic ones to remind the special ones that they're special. When you're talking about your Raven Guard, it's just a reflexive. I think I make up for about 5,000 points of Iron Warriors in 30k. That's fair. Oh yeah, Iron Warriors. That reminds me. Does anyone have any idea what happened to Gosu? He just like completely disappeared off the face of the earth a couple months ago. Oh, Red Wing is awake. He has woken up. He is here now. Yo, I don't remember a game Night Lords aren't trashing. Yeah, that's fair. Um, who is this again? Oh yeah, it's Beyond the Black. In the Shadows has such an incredible music video that like it's like a giant fantasy epic and you're given no context as to what's going on and it's never explained, but it just looks really cool and like stuff's happening. Really recommend checking it out sometime. I was like, what's going on here? This looks so cool. Is there like a video before or after this that explains what's even going on? Nope. Is this from something? Nope, they just made it. It's like, what is this story? Oh yeah, I was painting this thing in here. I keep forgetting that there's an axe on this dude's belt that I gotta paint something or another. It's kind of weird, not gonna lie, painting a lower detail tier. I mean, it's good for income, but it's just like trying to figure out how to do stuff simply anymore. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a mess. It's gotta dry. All right, let's do up here. No, you can't leave, Red. You're stuck here now. Listen, if I'm stuck here, you're stuck here. That's how this works. Got him. How have you been overall, Stormer? Though, seriously, because it's been a tick. Because I know for me, streaming was starting to take off back in December. Things are going great, and I got sick right after Christmas for 3 weeks. And then went from that to immediately into working 6 to 7 days a week and not having the mental energy to like hang out in other people's streams because all of my extroversion was taken up by my own streams, or I was just dead. Dead to the world. Oof, yeah, things are okay. I took a break from streaming due to being off from work. That's fair. That's totally reasonable. Yeah, my right after I recovered from yeah, I got that flu that was like knocking everyone around. It had me down for 3 weeks. uh as soon as I come back, all my web dev stuff like gets super busy and hasn't really stopped. So it's a size 1 Monument Hobbies Pro Sable brush. And it's one of my workhorses, honestly. Between size 1 and size 2 Pro Sable, that's basically 98% of my painting, not gonna lie. This is my third size 1 now over the last like 2.5 years. My second size 2. And yeah, as of yesterday, the big contract I've been waiting on, big government web dev job started, and I'm a little out of my depth on it, so it's taking a lot out of me. But it's really good money, and it looks like we might actually be able to do it a lot faster than we initially thought. Sorry, I was driving. What do I need to smite my trader brothers for this time? Oh, I was just wondering if you could go confirm whether or not Red Wing had put something in the TTS chat, because I am trolling him for trolling me. Yeah, I can't see you, Potato, so I think that's fair. Sup, Potato? How's it going? What needs to be gold here else besides that? The featherhead and yeah, no, I know. But now it's in the chat record though. It is going amazing, Potato. Things have gone pardon me. Exceptionally better since Saturday stream, which Saturday stream was very good, mind you. But things have gone exceptionally better for me overall. The white scars are no longer in my house. This is the next commission, my first normal painting commission in years. I wish that was an exaggeration. So I am fully back in the game now. Web dev is doing so well, it's killing me. I don't think the face cam is close enough or a high enough res for you to tell the facial expression I just made. Um, Now things are good. How are things for you, Potato? Ah, dev work. Yeah. So I've been doing web dev, freelance web dev, specializing in small businesses through WordPress and WooCommerce for 8 years now. And this job is my dad's like, all right, so I'm in the process of retiring. I'm trying to phase out my own web dev company, and we have this really big job for a month fun of work. Cool deal, Potato. Um, what paint? This is Army War Painter Greedy Gold. Greedy Gold. Uh, so anyway, county government that my dad had made, because my dad was a web dev as well, since '96, and he's full stack though. So he did a custom application for a county government in the area many years ago, and they need to update their framework. That's my job now. I learned most of PHP about 3 weeks ago. Most of the PHP knowledge I know about 3 weeks ago, to do this job. Uh, but no, it's actually I think it's actually going pretty well, and might be a lot quicker than we thought. But I'm getting the same amount of money regardless. So huzzah! I'll probably get back to working on that tomorrow morning, and yeah, try to knock this out in a couple weeks as opposed to like a month and a half like we first thought. Here, ad read time. Let's do it. Alright, I suppose I'll do the whole ad. This painting stream, this Psyker robot not the robot, the painting of the robot, is sponsored by Factor 75. Sourcing healthy food doesn't need to be as grueling as foraging a catchan, nor should it be as boring as the nutrient paste of the Astartes. What you should do is add onion. The chef selected, like I selected onion. And pre-prepared meals of Factor 75 are customized to your ideal diet, individual lifestyle, and busy schedule. Keto, vegan, vegetarian, low calorie, or the Emperor's Chosen, protein plus, all designed to ensure you don't flag in your painting pursuits without sacrificing good taste in the process. A rotating weekly menu of 27 plus meal options and 33 plus add-ons, including smoothies, cure shakes, and guilt-free enjoyment desserts as they are still nutritious, all things considered. Keeps your dining feeling like an imperial governor's with the flesh feel required to loyally serve the emperor, because you better be loyally serving the emperor. I'm talking to you, Red. A fraction of the price of ordering in by the meal, and superior nutrition of fast food. Factor 75 is here to support your quest to slay the gray by not cutting into your precious hobby time when it's time to refuel the tanks. With 2 minutes or less prep time and no mess, nothing will get the brush back in your hand faster. The flesh is weak, but Factor 75 makes it about as close as it gets to just plugging in, like into the wall, just into a power strip, like a true Mechanicus Magos. Use my link and get 50% off your first box. Also, onions. Onions! I swear, onions. They're the overpowered food. They're good for everything. I don't care. If there is onion involved, I am happy. You know what another good one is like that? Garlic. Not as flexible as onion, but pretty good nonetheless. Also, a pretty strong antibiotic as far as foods go. You know what's another delicious food? Sour grass. I bet most of you have not even heard of sour grass. Okay. This and the staff head, I'm going to paint them in. I am going to actually shade down and do some highlighting on. I'm going to switch brushes. mm. Here's the question. How am I exactly going to fix the mistakes I made in the trim with the gold? That's going to be interesting to figure out. Because the long way, the most correct way is like 3 steps. So I guess if I just did all of them in sequence, that could work. Well, got ready for my stream, so I'll catch you later. Have a good one, Stormer. It was nice to see you again, my friend. I hope you have a very fun stream. Oh, also, for anyone who doesn't know, Stormer is a very fun streamer painting stuff. I believe usually Necrons lately. And yeah, he's fun to hang out with. I used to hang out on streams a decent bit when I first started on Twitch. And then I got too busy for little people like him. No, I'm joking. I just got super busy. I haven't been hanging out with anyone. I was in one of my cousin's streams for like 10 minutes like last week, and that was it for the last several months. It's been a riff. I should let that dry a little bit and then go back and do another coat because I'm not getting full opaqueness because it's still drying. It's still wet. So I gotta start shade on the eagle head. And I'll just go back and forth between the two till it's done. I was thinking about this song earlier, actually. Stormer is live. Man, the back of the head of this thing does not want to just like be opaque. I need to think about the bloody the axe. I guess I could just make it metal and just blue the blade bit a little bit. Some blue shade. That's fine. Where's my reference pick? There we go. Actually, let's do, because there's actually a fair bit of melody. I was thinking of moving on to steel. Let's do the brown. I have a blindfold. Oh, okay. What do you mean you have a blindfold? Is that like a proposition or something? Am I missing something? See, the glasses are supposed to be on your nose and not what I'm typing text to speech. Oh, all right. In front of the camera. And I'm a joker. You're something of a troublemaker, aren't you? A rabble rouser, even. I hope my list does funny things. I think it will. Like smack a Titan. Well, still don't know what Red's bringing, so maybe there will be a Titan. Knights technically count as Titans, so you very well might smack a Knight. That is if I don't smack it first from range, because I like to reach out and touch you. Shall we make it a race to see who can take down his knight first? I hope just to cause chaos. I hope to add trophies to my collection. And kill Night Lords. Also, a good day. Sign of a good day. Oh yeah, I'm over here trying to paint this gold thing. I should be fixing the gold mess ups on the trim. At least the ones you can really tell anyway. Let's try putting more gold in the back of this dude's head. I'm kind of thinking, I wonder if I want to do a test. I wonder if there's a shortcut I can take with fixing this red here. Nobody kills Night Lords more than Night Lords. I mean, makes sense. Red, I have found that you were indeed lying earlier. What do you plea? To what? All I heard was Charlie Brown. Yeah, I still asked you a question. You answered yes, and that was found to be false. What now? I hope this works. It would make the fixing this very easy. Ah, Friday Night Night. I'm right, you're wrong. Near, I win. Okay, in all seriousness, though, how's your list coming? This did work, by the way, using the ink to just cover up anywhere the metal flakes got where they weren't supposed to. So I'm trying to figure out a list that won't just get manhandled, so I'm working on it. So it's taking a while. I mean, no worries, I just wanted an update. I'm still fairly new to figuring out some compositions. Also fair. Just know that we currently have Zophiana just wants to cause chaos. Myself. And I'm mostly... I want good content for obvious reasons. And then we have Venom that has never actually played before. This will be his first game, which is so hilarious. I mean, my list is in the Discord, but yes, that's a lot of Meltas. How do you know I brought a bunch of Eradicators? It's actually just a miniature version of my Arcs of Omen list. Well, because I saw Zophiana's, they already got, like, advanced melee, charging melee nonsense. I feel like I heard you mention that a time or two. Yeah, Meltus might be good right now, maybe. Might be a premier option when you want things to be dead. I think I brought any troops, actually. Yeah, Zophiana's there to kill up close, I'm there to kill at range, and we're kind of hoping Venom, the guy that's never played before, kind of handles all the objective points. Because that's how you should handle that, right? Question, why does everyone take Melted over Plasma? Because Plasma only does 1 or 2 damage, while Melted does D6, D6 plus 2, or D6 plus 4. That's why. And why plasma does only 1 or 2 damage when it's plasma? I don't know. Like, you think plasma do just as much damage versus vehicles, but I guess not. I guess plasma is to remain the premier anti-infantry killer, or the infantry killer, whatever. Uh, I don't know. All right, I have a question. Actually, I can wait on that question because this is gonna take a minute to dry. So, down to the brown of this leather here. Oh yeah, I want to do. Actually, no, these aren't boots. This is a robot. Oh, I know I'm gonna do it. Okay. I need to shade and then highlight the belt. I'm gonna use no oil. Nope, now I'm intrigued. Intrigued about what? 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 Your question? Oh, I think it was which was brighter, Auric Armor from Citadel or Army Warpaint or Bright Gold. And I think it's Bright Gold, which means I should use Auric Armor, but I'm going to wait to test that for when I actually get to doing that. Precisely. By putting both of them on my palette and see which one's the brighter, and then I'm going to use the less bright one to highlight the gold. So I don't want super bright. I want the highlight to be fairly subtle in reality. I know bright gold is pretty shiny, so I'll go with that. Well, I know it's super shiny, but my point is I don't want it too... I don't want it too shiny. It would conflict. Alright, so there's no oil on the belt. I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do his staff as. There's that weird purplish color that I can make that they have on the examples I'm seeing. Actually, what's the color of the original? Oh, that's some weird nonsense. It looks cool, but it's the wrong colors. Should I make it like the dark iron color I have on my Raven Guard? The shiniest thing gloss it? Oh no. Okay, pet peeve. I hate glossy minis. I think miniatures with any level of gloss is just immediately bad. I don't care. I think gloss is always terrible on miniatures. Same sweat you got. Like, I don't care how well your brushstrokes were. If your mini comes out glossy, I'm not gonna like it. I'm going to dislike it like immediately. Matte that hard. It's gotta be matted. All right. I have some ideas for the staff thing. I also gotta figure out like his gloves and stuff, which I probably should just do like brown with little metal studs on the back. I think I might do that actually, but that'll be after I come back because I have to go pee. Be right back. Alright, I return. I'm back. Let's do it. Let's cause some mayhem. Let's do the wrong thing. Zaro, he's Big Dumb Brew, if I remember correctly. And may have turned to corn. And that's why he's the best. I also didn't hear voices. Which are almost definitely demons. That's Uzas. Okay. Zaro. Zaro is... Oh, wait. Wasn't he the friend? Wasn't he the buddy? Man, I've not listened to these books in like a year. Not a year. Like 6 months. Friend and Talos. Okay. He's the friend, he's the foil. He's a lot more like stereotypical Night Lord while still liking Talos, which is not a stereotypical Night Lord, which is a nice balance to cut and all that. I really don't remember much about him. Without like while not remembering his name, I probably remember more of the Terminator dude with the lightning claws. Because that dude was awesome. Fair, I just want to force you to praise Night Lords, and yeah, he's cool. I mean, most of the characters in that book were awesome. Even, like, good character's a good character. They don't have to be good guys to be a good character. In fact, a lot of the best characters are bad guys. The captain of the ship, when they went into the naval fight, that was awesome. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that sequence. So I was dealing with that company hero. Yeah, I remember that. That was good. What chapter was that? Was that Blood Angels? Was that basic Blood Angels and not a successor? I feel like it was a successor. There's a weird like thing of material here, and I think it's resin, and I don't know if I want to try to pop it off now. I guess I'll try, see what happens. It was an Ultramarine successor? Okay. Right, the sword was from Blood Angels, and it was Blood Angels that downed the Dreadnought. But yeah, they were fighting like Genesis Marines or some nonsense. Genesis chapter. Or Nova Marine? No, it wasn't Nova Marines. I would have remembered if it was Nova Marines, because Nova Marines are the guys you follow in the Dark Imperium books. It's a Genesis chapter? I thought so. This is making a mess. This is probably a bad idea. Getting tired. So what's the dude's head look like? This guy? Like this. He's an Ironkin. He's one of the robots. I wasn't joking. He's actually an AI, an actual AI Psyker. That's legit his head. Yes. It's a third party resculpt to give you the option of a Grimnir as an Ironkin. Yeah. If you look up like Hearthkin, they're regular soldiers, and you see dudes with dome heads. Those are Ironkin normal dudes. And my client is making a Ymir conglomerate force that's entirely Ironkin. The whole army is Ironkin. Because all their fleshy brothers were eaten by Tyranids. So they're so fishbowl. They are all fishbowls. It's an entire army of Mysterios. Which actually just means it looks exactly like Spider-Man 2, the video game. If you played Spider-Man 2, the video game, like way back in the day when it was a full open world model of Manhattan Island and the Mysterio sequence in that game, it was so good. That game was a hidden gem. I feel like no one knows about that game and how great it was. I don't even want to know the amount of hours I sunk into that game. It's nonsense. I played that game for years on GameCube. Played a lot of that first Spider-Man too, actually. The first Spider-Man had better combat because it had like combos and stuff, but the second Spider-Man had like realistic web slinging. Like your web. This was so cool back then, by the way. This was so cool back in like, oh, what was this, like 2000 like 4 or something like that? 2004, 2005. The web swinging for Spider-Man, you actually had to anchor the web on the buildings. Oh, you know it. Okay, yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, you'd actually anchor the web onto buildings, which meant the web slinging was both really realistic, which felt cool, but also meant if you got good at, you could go so fast and have so much control over what you were doing. You felt like Spider-Man. You do with Rhino, yeah. Um, the dude, those pizza missions, those were so hard. What was with the how hard the pizza missions? Like those things were brutal. They could launch the moon when you're going super fast. Oh yeah. Or you grab onto the wrong thing with too short a web going that fast and just slam into the ground at like Mach 5. Pizza missions. Yeah, pizza missions. Wait, you don't know? They'll just roll and smash the pizza spot. Yeah, yep. We're on the same wavelength there. No. Yeah, and like, who's expecting their pizza to be delivered in like literally 38 seconds after ordering? Like, come on. And then if they don't get 38 seconds, they just call for they just call for the whatever the refund. I'm just gonna let Zophion try to figure out what we're talking about. Crosstown, you have 20 seconds or you fail. Good luck. Yeah, yeah. Imagine if we actually were using the little moped thing. Oh, I kind of wish that was an option now. Instead of the normal way, you just use the actual moped. You'd never get there in time, but it'd be funny. I distinctly remember sprinting to a door at 5 seconds left and get smacked by a car. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the only people that know what that's like now are GTA players. Because ironically, GTA did the exact same thing like 8 years later or 9 years later with GTA 4 and then more so GTA 5. Yeah. And everyone thought they were so like amazing with GTA 4. It's like, no, this was already done back on the GameCube. Like Like the exact same thing. I mean, they could have ripped the same map and it would have been like, and just added in the different mission areas and guns and cops. No, well, no, I had guns. Red, push this, I'm gonna smash. But also the Statue of Liberty mission. Come on, that was crazy. Trying to go buoy hopping to get to Ellis Island. I think that's how you got there normally, right, dude? It took my dude out way more than any criminal. Criminals were hilarious. Like the basic criminal dudes had no chance. It's always really funny when you just come up to them and your dude's like, I'm throwing my punches, right? Sophiana still has no clue what we're talking about, right? Pretty sure. That's what I think we're sitting at right now. I think I'm good to highlight the goal up here. Hey! Actually, good guess. Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube. I'm sure you can get it on PlayStation 2, but New York swing. Oh, you did catch a little bit of the swinging and pizza. Yeah. You caught just enough of the swing. As soon as I saw you were back in it, I stopped talking about web. That's what we need to do. We need to do a stream series of a emulator of a 100% Spider-Man 2 run. Like everything, every buoy marker, every hidden coin. You stuck in the Green Goblin fight also? In which game? I don't even remember the Green Goblin fight, so I'm guessing no. I remember the Vulture was kind of annoying. That's just because it was so high, so you had nothing to swing on. Yeah, I feel like people want their pizza in 20 seconds at work. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess the pizza missions in Spider-Man 2 were absolutely absurd. You had like literally seconds to get across New York City without messing up their pizza. This Aura Gold is a nightmare. This needs so much. Like this needs like multiple marbles and like minutes of shaking. I'm just gonna use Bright Gold. Oh wait, no, I darkened it a fair bit. I'm gonna just use Greedy Gold. I'm just gonna do for like cleaned highlights, that kind of deal. Where it's not super shiny, but it's not supposed to be super shiny. Shiny. I'm just gonna hold that note. I feel like that was also one of the first games that really went that far in the way of tracking and hidden objects, like collectible objects en masse, in an open world game of that type. Like the more I think about it, the more I feel like Spider-Man 2 did a lot of revolutionary stuff at the time. For 2005, like jeez. There were like 150 plus buoy tokens, and a lot of buoy tokens weren't easy to get, and you couldn't swim if memory serves, so you had to actually land that stuff, like, correctly. You could get to every building, yeah. You couldn't go in basically any buildings, but that's most open world games that aren't Skyrim, that is just copy-paste, but, that's fine. You're Spider-Man, you don't need to be in buildings, you're most dangerous outside. Well, against other superpowered people anyway. Against normal people, it doesn't really matter where you are, as shown by the fact that I'm sure both of us took out like 10,000 criminals apiece. The Hulk game on GameCube is like that. I never got that one. I think my cousin had it. Yeah, and he said it was awesome. That's actually Lieutenant Bam I'm referring to. That hops in the air from time to time. Oh yeah, earlier when I was getting dinner, another classic game I was reminded of. Yo, let's talk about more games that are absolute legends that I feel like everyone's forgotten about. Luigi's Mansion. Just that. Like I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, it's on the goat list. Easy. Luigi's Mansion for such a like weird gameplay premise is absolutely incredible. That game was so good. Meanwhile, I'm just doing monotype runs of the new Pokemon games. See, this is why I never play Pokemon. There were just better games to play. What? My neighbor had that game, and dude, we played so much. Uh, Another one of that time, dude. Why were video games so much better back then? Super Mario Sunshine. Yo, I heard recently, like, I learned this recently. Apparently, the head of Nintendo was so mad, like, livid, livid, like, ranting in his office about Super Mario Sunshine because it added lore to the game. But Super Mario Sunshine was like Paper Mario, I don't know, something like that. Because it added lore to Mario, and there was never supposed to be lore. Never huge in Mario, to be honest. Oh, I grew up with like my two first video games that I remember are Super Mario 64 and Donkey Kong 64. Which, by the way, Donkey Kong 64, I wanna I wanna go watch someone do some playthroughs of Donkey Kong 64. Man, I remember so little of that game now, but what I remember was awesome. Yeah, both those games, so good. I actually never really played Paper Mario. I just missed that entirely. But all of the 3D games, Mario Kart, Double Dash was so good. I legitimately played Double Dash solo and had a great time trying to unlock all the characters and stuff. Yo, okay. As a little kid, right? Me and my siblings, I have three younger siblings. I'm the oldest of four. Um, we had we had dedicated days where we had an hour of video game time, and so it'd be like, let's say like Tuesday would be my brother's day, and then Wednesday would be one of my sister's day, and Thursday would be my day, something like that, whatever. The details besides the point. And we all loved Double Dash so much, but I was the best one at it, that they would give me their day's time to try to unlock more characters and carts and skins in Double Dash. So we could all play Double Dash with more characters and maps and stuff. First game I ever played was this Lord of the Rings game and a motion tracking sword it came with. What? I thought I had played all the old Lord of the Rings games. There was a motion tracking. Was it good? Was the motion tracking actually legit? Oh, by the way, great hack and slash games. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King, both individually are really good hack and slashes I played a ton of on the GameCube. And um, Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, which is two completely separate games, by the way, made by the same people. This was like, it didn't hit me as weird. I'm thinking back now. This is so weird. Listen, The Third Age, right? You have the normal game on PlayStation or GameCube that was a Final Fantasy, I think Final Fantasy style. Like the you have multiple RPG characters, and it's turn based in like small groups, like three, four, five guys, whatever that style is called, right? That was that. And then for Game Boy Advance, it was this extremely good full not table, a turn-based strategy game. That's really good. You could play good and bad guys on it, and multiplayer. It was like super good actually, and it had all of like the major battles and even battles you didn't see in the movies and stuff. Like I had you playing as either the Mordor Uruks or Boromir and Faramir leading Gondor troops fighting to retake Osgiliath before the Council of Elrond happened. You had multiple Helm's Deeps maps. You had a fight with Aragorn and the men of Woodland Man against the Nazguls in Bree. Like it was, and you had the fields of Pelennor, whereas the as Rohan and Gondor, you had to fight orcs and Easterlings and Mumakil long enough for then the army of the dead to come through. Then you took over the army of the dead and just wiped everything like so hard. It was so great. It was such a good turn-based strategy game. And you could play the fact you could play both sides. And surprisingly, it had a lot of replay value for some reason. I don't know why, but I played a lot of it, even though in theory there wasn't a whole lot of diversity. But yeah, I don't know. It's just an extremely good, if simple, turn-based strategy game, which is so weird because it's not what its port was on anything else. Oh, and because it was Game Boy Advance, you could play it on the GameCube. If you had that, you remember that for the GameCube, that little like insert thing you could put into the bottom and then play your Game Boy Advance games on the TV. That was nuts back then. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's how we used to play multiplayer with the Third Age. My brother and I would play it on the TV using GameCube controllers, even though it was a Game Boy Advance game. Oh yeah, that's right. In multiplayer, you could build your own armies and select your characters. You weren't stuck with the ones that um you weren't stuck with the ones that were based on that story mission, and they all had different powers. They had different abilities. I'm remembering this now. Yeah, I remember more and more of it. It was a really good game. Holy crap. Yeah, if you like turn-based I mean you play Warhammer, so I mean you like turn-based strategy to some extent. Actually, it worked just like. Holy crap! I remember. It's just like 40K. It's the same thing as 40K. It's turn based, but with like your full army, right? Full army activation. You had characters with like aura abilities that modified stats of your dudes that had their base stats and special abilities, and it was based on a chance to hit system that then had to do a specific amount, like a certain amount of damage, I think, to threshold through their toughness or something like that, like something akin to that, some kind of system like that. Um, and you had stuff like mounted dudes could. Oh, and you have melee and ranged fighting, which some guys had both and some guys didn't. Uh, of one or the other, and they were better or worse at different ones, and range got worse as you got further away. Like you had range increments, and mounted dudes were specifically really good because they were the only ones that could run up to someone, attack, and then run away. Everyone else, it was move and then action, or just action. Once you did an action, you couldn't move again. Yeah, it's just like 40K. It's just like 40K actually. So it was great. It was such a good game. It was a great game. Now I'm remembering all my GameCube games. No, I'm remembering Call of Duty Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1. Medal of Honor, Rising Sun, also GameCube. Uh, Soul Calibur 2. You had oh, I had it for a second. Anyway, what time is it? 20 of. I'm getting tired. That's part of it. I'm getting loopy. I need food. I need food and I need to relax. Where are we at? Uh, Leather could be done up pretty simply. I'm just gonna grab some, like, palette, or no, rock art flesh, blend it a little bit, and do some basic highlighting on all the leather stuff. Plug into each other Game Boys about each other in games. Oh yeah, yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, we had a bunch of Game Boy Colors. I remember doing that, yeah. Why does it feel like I got more multiplayer in against my siblings with a cord between our Game Boys than now when I have the internet and I can't find people to play games with when I do want to play games? How how'd that happen? I remember I practically never didn't have people to play Halo 3 with, or even Destiny 1 when I was an adult with a job and my first business, my first attempt at business, and I could still get people in and a girlfriend, and then a girlfriend I lived with, and I could still find people back then to play Destiny 1 with. You can't, no, I don't know. I mean, it's just me getting old. Social gaming has just gone out the window. Did you play Halo 3, Red? Were you a Halo 3 guy? At games I was home, I had the same. I lived on. Yeah, me too, man. No, seriously, dude, you couldn't not have people to play. The social integration of that game was so flawless. Like I had friends in that game that I stayed friends with for a decade because it was so easy to make friends on there. Even though you're all trash talking each other to hell and back, but I mean, like, I remember like file share. What happened to file share? And Halo ODST, yeah. Dude, I used to wreck some shop on Guardian. Why was Halo 3, as far as integration of social features, the peak? And that was like a decade and a half ago. That was 15 years ago. And we've only somehow gotten worse. Why can't people just copy Halo? Like the new Modern Warfare 2 came back with like the death mic. That's really cool. That's really cool. But I mean, like, proximity chat, right? You get too close to the enemy, you can hear each other's mics. Voice chat, but of the full lobby before and after games. File share. One button, join party. You could hit one button and join their party. Why has that completely disappeared from gaming? Then you have Forge, which is kind of still around, but not the same. Theater pretty much disappeared. Like, you remember how much machinima came out of Halo 3? I'm not even just talking about Red vs. Blue that were doing before that. Like, Halo 3 came out, people made machinima, and some of it was good. I mean, like, good. Like, how did we fall? What happened? Was it just horse armor? It can't couldn't have just been like just that. And I know it's not me. right? I know it's not just me getting old, because I felt all that again with Elden Ring. I felt it again. It was like, this is gaming. And then it went away again. I got my fix of Elden Ring for the time being, and everything else is back to just, I don't care. Horse Armor started a downfall, but yeah. Yeah, it allowed companies to get away with not delivering a superior product to make their money. They could have, they basically made gamers into speculators about if the game would become better later, which in only a few rare cases did it become good enough to warrant that kind of system. Like, honestly, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky did get like reasonably better. I had bought it when it first came out. It was disappointing. I went back to it years later when I heard it got good again, and it was phenomenal. And I want to stream it, but I don't have the equipment to do it properly. Um, but like, yeah, they've turned gaming into speculation, and the gamers usually lose to the point that I don't even feel like I'm a gamer anymore because I just don't play games. I'm a hobbyist. I paint minis, and that's about it right now. While I don't have the time to play actual games, which is kind of going to be fixed with us doing the TTS, but I mean, start companion son the end of games through company son the end of games through DLC, yeah. Which is it sucks because we all thought when DLC first started coming out, this is the way forward. This is gonna make games so much better, and it had the opposite effect. It made gaming so much worse. And I don't know how it's going to course correct. I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but yeah, I'm probably gonna put some coloration on that to mess with it a little bit. Just a quick, easy thing. Because psychers. We all thought it had so much replay ability. Little did we know that would kill it. Yeah, and it sucks because we've had examples of it going well. Like, here's an example of DLC done correctly. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which had no right to be anywhere as good as it was. And that thing had constant patching, like every 2 weeks on this free multiplayer service funded by the first loot crates that then turned into a monstrosity layer that literally had to be legislated against. But in Mass Effect multiplayer, it was good. Like, I actually enjoyed the loot crate system in that game. I thought it was the coolest, funnest thing because the gameplay loop was so gratifying. And it was constantly being patched and balanced, so it actually felt good. And they were adding new content for free. Free content regularly. Like, man, those people deserve medals. They deserve awards. Like, whatever the gaming version of Grammys is, those people running the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, they're the ones that deserve those gold statues. Seriously. Those people went above and beyond. And that you had so much, diversity of playability in that thing. From the Geth Juggernaut with the Geth Spitter rifle, whatever it was called, the minigun, to Krogan shamans with warhammers to my one of my favorites, the Vorcha max aggression regen build with a claymore shotgun and non-stop regen. So even on legendary, I have to run into the fight and melee and shotgun non-stop, or I immediately die. Or dude, the what do you call it, the Volus, the little economics dudes, the Biotic God class. I mean, come on. It was so good. They turned an inside joke into a legitimately fun gameplay class. Like, what even? You made a little. Like, last time I tried playing it, which, by the way, the servers are still on, by the way. There are still people playing it. You can go play it. You're not gonna get a lot of like the lag is usually kind of bad, but not so bad as it's not fun. I had a good time. I made a little pink bowling ball of death. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Reinstall Mass Effect 3 on like an Xbox One and you can still go play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer right now. I'm not joking. I did it like 2 or 3 months ago. Let me double check on the internet. Let me double check on the internet. But you know, as of a couple months ago, I literally played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Multiplayer servers. Um, I can only find people saying they're still on as of like last year's the last posts I can find. They're still on. So I mean, no one's saying that they're down. So I can only assume they are still up because yeah, it would be coming up that people are saying that they're down now. So okay, I have a horrific story about Knights of the Old Republic. This is gonna make you hurt, and it makes me hurt still, actually. I got it as a teenager, Xbox One, to play on the 360. It was super hard to find, by the way. It took me a long time to get my hands on that. And wouldn't you know, something about the disc was damaged. You could play up to the end of that tutorial area where you then get into like when you like crash land or what, I don't remember how it went, but whenever you open up into the proper world and it could never load into it. I never played beyond the tutorial area to this day. Yeah. Yep. And I keep forgetting about it, so I've never hunted down getting myself a copy of it or finding an online version or online PC version. Else I would. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's on Steam. I never thought to check, to be honest. But yeah, that was my experience with Kotar. Was I know this is a great game. I've played enough of it to understand why this is a really good game. It's very fun, and my disc is just messed up, which was such a thing back then, by the way. Like I had for years a partially broken Halo 3 CD that couldn't play the high ground multiplayer map. It could, and then another time I couldn't play campaign for a long time until I got a new disc. Which, as a teenager with no money, and I was, from a, not a particularly well off family, would say we weren't like dead poor most of the time, but we weren't, you know, you get the idea. That didn't really happen very often. Never played code. I recommend you be at least one. Oh yeah, I mean now that I'm remembering it exists, yeah, no, it's going on the list. Yeah, it's going on the list. You know what? I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check Steam right now. Can you get it on Steam? Because that be what's my Steam? My Steam is. I'm gonna type into the chat because my Steam is my. This is my actual. It's $10 on Steam. Yo, I think I might know what I'm doing tonight. You're playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. I'm playing KOTOR. Alright, so that is my gamer tag everywhere. If you see that anywhere, that is me. Because I'm the only one that exists for. Because it's, funny story about that, actually. I hate gamer tags that have, like, a bunch of like, you have the numbers and the underscore. I hate that for my own names. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I want a name. I want a name. So, when I was a teenager, and I already knew this about myself, I was like 14, 15, maybe 16, and I was reading through the Aragon books, which have. Oh, no, I put it, Oridum Corda. I put it in the chat. That thing. That weird phrase. That's actually Dwarvish from Aragon. They're two Dwarvish words that are actually in different books and in the wrong chronological order. It means effectively Fate Hammer, because I was super into dwarves as a kid. Yeah, I looked right, but you just looked at my name. Yeah. But no, like my gamer tag on Xbox, on Steam, on like any MMO out there, like if you see that name, you know it's me. It cannot be anyone else. It doesn't exist. That is like I wanted to craft a unique identity that I know would absolutely always be me, and I could always immediately have it. There was never I want this name, but someone else has it, and I have to think of a number, and then it doesn't look like a name anymore, and like all stuff. No. Right at like 14, 15 years old, I'm like, I'm gonna crack this, so like I always have my own name. And now I do. Of course, basically tabletop is a pretty good one too when it's stuff that's in regards to like Warhammer tabletop, so I have that, so that's nice. But yeah, hold on, I'm gonna go into the Steam store. Knights of the Old Republic. Do I have to play the first one, or can I just go right to the second one that everyone talks about? Like, are they direct sequels, or accept that? I got a thing. One new invite. Accepted. Oh yeah, I still have that super old picture from when I was like 20, like 20. I was just getting money like properly for the first time, and I was single after my girlfriend of the time and I separated for a while, and so I was just buying like swords and knives and stuff for the original. Personally, I'll maybe I'll look some stuff up on it, figure out which one. But yeah, no, that's great. That's good stuff. And honestly, I like that I can get it on PC because lately I've been really preferring playing PC rather than Xbox. Like I've definitely become that guy where like if I can get on PC, I'm absolutely playing on PC. I don't care anymore. Now that I have a computer that can actually play PC games well, like I'm playing everything on PC. I played Elden Ring on PC. Honestly, liked it better than playing all the Dark Souls games on Xbox. Looking back on it, PC was a superior experience. And it's nice because I have Windows, so I have the game lab or whatever it's called, so um I can talk to friends that are playing on Xbox. I can play with friends on Xbox, so that's fun. That's nice. Nice quality of life. All right, I think the leather is done. Basically, the leather looks pretty decent. Um, I'm not gonna do the feed leather. I'm gonna do that like a black armor type of deal. I might do that here too, and just literally just black it out again, and then do night, Dawnstone. Why did I skip saying night? Dawnstone. The opposite of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this guy's coming together. He'll be finished pretty early tomorrow. I'm gonna do like a dark purple thing for the handle and steel for like his whole head with a shinier thing with a lot of Nolan oil to shade it down a little bit. Axe steel with a little blue on the blade, and then this guy will, and some shading on the robe, and then this guy will be done besides the cape, which is mostly shading stuff because it's already like I gotta re-black the inside, and this is already red, so just a little bit of treatment on this, maybe 20 minutes, not even. This will be done. Pop that on. This guy will be done. The rock is done. The base will be completely dry by then, and then I can just do the drones tomorrow, and then this guy will be done, and I'm back to Raven Guard until I get the Hearth Guard next week. Pretty good. But yeah, it is, we're coming up on 10 o'clock. I am tired. I want food. I was thinking already, let's raid Stormer, because I think that's funny. Unless, who else is on, just in case? Hold up, did that work first? Did what work? Oh, I received it. Oh, wow, thank you. Gave me the first one. At midnight, lords are the best. I will not, but I will accept the gift. It's been added to my account. It's too late now. Raven Guard is still the best. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, no, should I start tonight? I just realized I still have to pick the map for the 3v1 match to make sure I can run it all. And it's just to play a game at least once. Yeah, I mean, I'll get to it. Now that it's in my library, I mean, I'll get to it eventually. Stuff will slow down eventually. Yeah, I mean, if I get too tired to mess with maps, then yeah, I'll play that. I mean, I can play a game like that, no problem, even when I'm tired. That's exciting. All right, let's actually, let's first see if Stormer's even still streaming, because I stream for forever. So for all I know, he could have streamed for like an hour and a half and gone off. So he is on. We technically have a couple options for cool Warhammer people. Fourth brother Tobias, the 40-year-old painter, Kaylee Larson. She's doing Battletech. Stormer's doing a vampire. 40-year-old painter just says Happy International Women's Day, so that tells me a lot. Thanks for that. Noise Marine Champion on Fourth Brother Tobias that raided the other day. I'll just do Stormer. We'll share the love. Just need to get through the pre-roll ads. Have a good one, man. If you don't mind sticking around till we actually do the raid. Well, I think someone just left. Oh, well, for sure. Okay. Someone left. Someone doesn't understand Twitch etiquette. To stay in the tab for like 5 minutes. Jeez, that's why there's so much to ask of people. I was sorry faster. No, I gotta have the Twitch go through the pre-roll ads and stuff. Else I can't see or hear what's going on when we first get in there, you know? Yeah. Like I have to open up a new tab, go to his stream, let the pre-roll ads go, and then I can actually see and hear anything. Because when you raid, if you're going from the stream manager, it doesn't do anything on your screen. There's nothing. So you actually have to be there on like a normal viewer, and then you can see and chat and everything. it's kind of weird. It took me a while to learn at first. And then when I came back from being sick, I forgot and messed up a couple raids, but it's whatever. All right, let's actually do the raid. The raid itself. Thanks for hanging out, people, and I will be here tomorrow. Before you leave, if you never played Toy Wars, you need to. I've heard Toy Wars is good. I have not played Toy Wars. I mean, if you want to just keep sending me free games, I ain't gonna complain, but not gonna turn down free stuff. But no, I'm joking. I've not played it. I heard of it. It passed me right by in the grand scheme of things. Um, you know what's a game you should play that is free to play actually, and I would totally play with you if you got into it. Is what's it called here? Where is it? Star Conflict. It has broken me for flight simulator type like space combat games. It's the best one like combat gameplay wise. It's a great game, and nope, one done because you didn't praise that. Fair enough, man. All right, let's start the raid. I'll talk about Star Conflict tomorrow. I could go on for a long time about that game, but anyway, check it out right now. Star Conflict, cool deal, man. Yeah, it's free to play, and it's straight up like think like flying jets and stuff and like Battlefield, but in space and way better controls and really like complex class interactions. It's super cool and it's really fast, aggressive combat. I love it. I love it. It's such an adrenaline junkie game. It used to be better, unfortunately, but it's not bad still. All right, let's do the raid.